Hello grade 7, this is Mr. Mahmoud and today's video is gonna talk about the last part of the phrases or the last kind of the phrases for this chapter 5, and it is the appositives and the appositive phrases. First we need to know what are the appositives. The appositive is a noun or a pronoun that identifies another noun or a pronoun. So, for example, our teacher, Mr. Ali, is the best teacher. Mr. Ali here is identifying our teacher. So, if you're gonna ask me, Mr. Mahmoud, which teacher is the best, I'm gonna say Mr. Ali. So, Mr. Ali is the noun that identifies another noun, which is teacher. Muhammad Salah, a talented football player, is playing in Liverpool. Very well. Football player here is identifying Muhammad Salah. My teacher, Mr. Craig, the same idea, Mr. Craig is identifying my teacher. And the last example, Mr. Craig wishes he could go back in time to talk to one author here. Here is the pronoun that identifies which author, or here is identifying the noun author. That's why it is an appositive. So we know now the appositives. We're gonna talk about the appositive phrase. It is the phrase that contains an appositive and any modifiers that complete it. So this phrase must have inside it or contain an appositive and anything that modifies that positive. So, for example, Ali, the friend of my childhood, is a doctor now. So, the friend of my childhood is identifying Ali. So, the whole phrase is identifying Ali. But why is it a positive phrase? Because it contains a positive. What is the positive we have here? It is friend. So friend is modifying Ali and the whole phrase is modifying the whole Ali. I recently saw the movie version of Persuasion, a novel by Jane Austen. So a novel by Jane Austen is the appositive phrase. What is the appositive inside it? It is a novel. Amanda Root, the female lead in the movie, plays Anne Elliot. The female lead in the movie is the appositive phrase. It contains the appositive, which is the female, and the whole phrase is identifying Amanda Root. We have an important note here. The appositive phrase in the sentence is essential or not essential. If it's really essential to the meaning and the meaning won't be completed without it, so I don't have to put any commas to it. But if it's really not essential and if we delete the whole phrase, the normal meaning will be sensible, then I have to set off the appositive phrase with commas. So let's see an example. And a good-hearted and intelligent woman must learn not to be too easily persuaded by others. Now, if I'm gonna delete this appositive phrase, which is identifying Anne, yes, do any problem will happen to understand the meaning when I say Anne must learn not to be too easily persuaded by others? Yes, the meaning will be normal. And actually here it is not essential phrase for the whole sentence. Therefore, we set off this phrase with two commas. The second example, Anne's friend, Lady Russell, sometimes gives Anne poor advice. If I will delete Lady Russell, which is the appositive that identifies the friend of Anne, do the meaning will be completed? Let's try. As friend sometimes gives Anne poor advice. If I listen to this sentence, I will always ask which friend exactly you are talking about. Then you'll tell me Lady Russell. So Lady Russell as an appositive is an essential appositive for the whole sentence to be really sensible. So I don't have to put or set off any commas here. And to understand more the idea of setting off commas for the appositive, we need to read these two examples. First one, my brother Peter lives in London. And the other one, the same exactly, without any commas. My brother Peter lives in London. What the difference? The first one had one idea, that he has one brother. So if I'm talking to this guy whose brother is Peter, for example, let's say he is Michael. If I'm talking to Michael, I know that he has only one brother. So he doesn't have to tell me the name of his brother, because I already know that he has only one brother. Therefore, this Peter here is not essential, because I know already he has one brother. But here I understand other thing, that there is more than one brother. That's why he had to put the appositive Peter to identify which one of his brothers he is talking about. So here he has only one brother, and the appositive is not essential. And here he has more than one brother. That's why Peter is essential to the meaning of the sentence. Note 2 commas are used with appositive that refers to proper noun. Very well. If the appositive is identifying a proper noun, then I have to set off this appositive with commas, as we see here. Michael, the student, is the best one in my class. So the student is identifying Michael, which is already proper noun. Therefore, I have to add or set off the appositive with two commas, as we see here. Now in your box, if you open it, page 106, exercise 14, we will identify the appositives and the appositive phrases, and we will identify also the noun that it is modifying. We have an example here. My sister Roseanne is a software support specialist. What is the appositive, guys? It is Roseanne. What is the or which noun does it identify? It is sister. If I will ask you, does she or he has more than one sister or only one sister? Yes, he has more than one sister. That's why here it is run-on sentence without any punctuation or exactly commas. Let's go to number 1. John, a carpenter, lives across the street from us. With the appositive or the appositive phrase, it is carpenter. Why carpenter? Because it is a noun and it is modifying another noun, which is John. We have to add the commas because it is modifying a proper noun. Let's go to number 2. Will your cousin Charlene visit you this fall? So here we have one appositive that identifies another noun. We have Charlene, which is identify cousin. Number 3. That book, The White Mountains, is my favorite. We have actually here an appositive phrase. The White Mountains, identifying book. Jenny is playing with her favorite toy, a stuffed horse named Dapples. Do we have any appositive phrase here or only appositives? Let's see. A stuffed horse named Dapples, the whole of it, an appositive phrase. Why? Because it is identify which toy. So the toy here is the noun that is already identified by this appositive phrase. Number 5, I asked for a volunteer, anyone, to lead the program. Very good. Anyone is identifying the volunteer. So anyone is the appositive. Al, the security guard at mom's office, always says hello to me. We have an appositive phrase which is the security guard at mom's office. The whole of the phrase is identifying Al. Number 7. Noble sent Tony's son Ethan a birthday present. We have here Ethan, which is one appositive for the son. Number 8. The shortstop on our softball team, Diane, broke her toe last Wednesday. So it's very easy, guys. Diana is the appositive that is identifying the shortstop. Number 9. Jackson Square, a landmark in New Orleans, has a statue of Andrew Jackson's in it. So the same idea. A landmark in New Orleans is the appositive phrase that is identify another noun here, which is Jackson Square. The beach was covered with sargassum, a seaweed that is made up of brown algae. It's very easy. What is the sargassum? Here he identified what is exactly sargassum with this appositive phrase, a seaweed that is made of brown algae. That's enough for today, guys, and that's gonna be your homework exercise D. Thank you very much and enjoy your time.